What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing well. This video is going to be some craziness. It shouldn't be too long, but you know what? I might get to preaching. It's okay too. I'm gonna let it flow through me, all right? So today's video was brought to you by the Beta Projects. The Beta Project you're on. Feel free to follow me on YouTube at Humble and Focused, all one word. And today's video is called The Power Within. And so today's quote is, sometimes God will put a Goliath in your life for you to find the David within you. Okay, so this video in itself is just, I mean, the quote itself blew my mind. My video today was not going to go here. My video today was on something else. But as I was looking for the quote I wanted, what I saw is I saw this quote and I was like, ooh wee, because for those of you guys who don't know the story of David and Goliath in the Bible, but long story short, there's a giant guy named Goliath, and David steps up and he says, I'll fight him. He fights him. He ends up taking him down. Okay? But the idea behind it is that sometimes, and we're going to take this to the scripture, sometimes God's going to have to put a Goliath in your life for you to step into your formidable phase as a David. Now, David ended up becoming king. But would that have happened? And would he have been able to instill this fear and also get the respect of his others had he not had a Goliath to take him to the next level? Some of you are complaining about what you're going through right now, not realizing that that is your Goliath. You're sitting in the middle of your problem right now, complaining about how bad it is, when in all reality, that's what's making you and creating you to get to where the next stage is. I want you to think about this. If I want to bake a cake and I put eggs in there and I put flour in there and then I put it in the oven, it's not going to do anything. But when I beat it, when I put that pressure into it, and I put that action to it, and I'm whipping it, and the eggs are cracking, and the yolks are splitting, and everything's mixing together, it is the power that I'm putting into it, the action, the turning, that is creating the batter that will become a cake. If you put a cake in the oven and you didn't mix the ingredients together, you're not going to get anything. So don't complain about where you are right now, because you are where you need to be right now. That was the hardest thing for me to figure out. Everything I'm going through right now is preparing me for my next stage. Everything that is in my life right now that is giving me heartache and hell is something I need to get me to the next level. I am learning through my experiences. I'm not cursing them. I'm saying, God, thank you for giving me that, because that's going to take me to the next level. Every heartache and pain, every trial and tribulation will just add on to what will create you and create your kingship in the end. I want you guys to see this again. Look, sometimes God will put a Goliath in your life for you to find the David within you. Would David have been the David that he needed him to be had Goliath not been there? Probably not. And sometimes when we have a foe in front of us that looks like it cannot be taken down, there is always going to be a will and a way. He picked up something as simple as a slingshot. And the idea behind this, ladies and gentlemen, is that you don't have to be a Goliath to take down Goliath-sized problems. Inside of you is power, but we often hide our power because it doesn't fit in. We often hide our power because we haven't even tapped into it yet. But if you pay attention to what is given to you, if you're right now in strife and pain, what do you need to learn there? Everybody knows. Well, actually, let me say not everybody knows. You will know after watching this video that if you're put into a situation, and God puts you into a situation, He will not take you out of that situation to repeat it unless you did not learn what you needed to learn in that situation. You get what I'm saying? So you could go into something and you wonder why you keep finding the same type of girls or guys that you're dating. Well, what have you changed? You wonder why you keep getting divorced. Well, if you're finding women who are just pretty or guys who are just attractive and have no other substance, then you're going to end up in the same situation. What are you supposed to learn? What are you supposed to grow through just by going through a situation? How many times do people just get in a situation, complain and cry about it, and just hope that something happens to get them out of it? Instead of indulging in the situation, finding the true strength, and manifesting all power to get through it. The power is within you. Ladies and gentlemen, David didn't need anything extra given to him other than an enemy to fight. Does that make sense? So God didn't put anything extra into David. Instead, he's like, all right, David, I know what is in you because I placed it in you, but you're not going to be able to give it because, right, you have brothers who are, you have people who are depending on you, but you're not really stepping up to your big being. You're not stepping up into your greatness, right? So God didn't say, all right, David, I'm going to give you all the strength of 1,000,000 men. I'm going to give you Herculean strength. I'm going to give you a Gatling gun. I'm going to give you an army with speed. No, what God gave David was already within him. His power was already inside. What he gave him is something to draw out his power, something huge that would make him not stay comfortable. And because you can't be your best self if you're comfortable. A lot of people don't realize that. If you want something more out of your life, if you believe there's something more inside of your life, then you have no right to stay comfortable. Because when God's giving you a Goliath to fight, it's going to take the best version of you to fight him. It's going to take something that you've never seen in yourself to fight him. You've heard people, if you've ever played sports, you've heard people say sports, all of a sudden something took over. Well, they became the best version of themselves. They couldn't be stopped. You've seen people go on a hot streak and just start hitting threes and they couldn't be stopped. That's inside of them. Because they weren't playing to that level. If they were playing to that level, they wouldn't have to talk about it. But when they go to that place where no one can stop them, or that they're a being of excellence, and all of a sudden all the pieces are falling into place. They couldn't miss a shot if they tried. They couldn't miss a catch if they tried. They couldn't. All of that has to come from inside. The power inside of you is strong. The power inside of you is unlimited. You have limitless power inside of you. The problem is that most people don't take the step to get that power. Because inside of you, it's going to take a little bit of something to get that power out of you. Why is it going to do that? Because the power inside of you is something that will be triggered by something more. The life that you have right now, we talked about this, the life that you have right now is an accumulation of everything you've done before. Your past you has created your future. Sorry, your past you has created your present you. So if you want something more, first of all, you're going to need a Goliath to fight. You're going to need something so big to fight that you're not going to have a choice but to become something more. You're not going to have a choice but to become something better. Think about the Rocky movies. If Rocky 1 fought in Rocky 3, he would have got beat down. He had to do some training to get himself to go to that next level. Otherwise, he would have never have taken down who he took down. You get what I'm saying? So, I'm going to go back to that quote one more time because I want you to understand this, ladies and gentlemen. It's inside of you already. The David is already in you. But sometimes you need an enemy like a Goliath, so big that it's going to take something more from you to succeed. And when that person, that David inside of you comes up, it'll stay up because that's a part of you now. And it's not something that you won't be able to access at any time. It's there now. It's been brought out. Now, David has shown his power, and he can never go back to his meekness because now his power is on display, right? So here's the last and final picture. Here we go. The enemy always fights the hardest when he knows God has something great in store for you. Now I want you to think about something. So the enemy knows the same things about you that God knows. Yeah, that's pretty deep, right? So the enemy knows how amazingly powerful you are, and it knows that your greatness can lead somewhere, that your greatness can build on something. Your greatness inside of you has the ability to change the world, right? But the enemy won't fight people who have nothing to fight for. Think about it. A thief does not break into a house that has nothing to steal. A thief will not go and break into a house that has nothing to steal, but a thief will break into a bank because there's money everywhere. There's value there. So that means there's something powerful, great, and valuable inside of you that the enemy has to stop you to get. Why? Because by stopping you, you don't give your greatness. You'll never find your greatness. Imagine, for example, the enemy didn't send Goliath to get David. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, so this is gonna get a little deep. I hope you guys will follow me. The enemy did not send Goliath to get David because the enemy knew what was inside of David. So the enemy actually sent other things that would keep David down because, you know what, sometimes we can't fight against our family and our friends. So the enemy has to send and take over our friends and our family to keep us down, to make sure that we don't succeed and go to our next level. Because the enemy did not send Goliath, God did. God knew that if he sent Goliath to the enemy, sent Goliath to David, that David would rise up and the power within would show. The enemy said, we can't send a Goliath because we don't want that to show. Let's send something else he can't fight against. But God knew. The devil knew. They both knew what was inside of David, but one who wanted to suppress the greatness, the other wanted to go get the greatness. And that's the complete difference. That is the whole difference of this whole video. Is that the power's within you, and they both, good and evil, both know exactly what's inside of you. And they're going to attack you different ways. So you have a choice. You can look at everything that's going on in your life as, oh my gosh, woe is me, oh no. But there's two things you need to realize. One, that what's coming against you, if the devil sent it, he knows how great you are. If God sent it, he knows how great you are. So no matter what you're going through, if you step up and get through it, then there's greatness on the other side of it, guaranteed. There is no way for it not to be. So either the devil's bringing stuff that he wants to keep you down with, or God sending something he wants to lift you up with. But either way, greatness is important. Greatness is given. It's guaranteed. And the power within inside you will show. Either the devil wants to stifle it or God wants to lift it up. Either way, you got to stand tall. You got to step up into your greatness and realize that there's no reason for you to stay where you are. Don't let people around you keep you down. Don't let yourself keep you down based on what people have told you in the past. Step up, step out, and show your greatness. The power within you. The power within you. The power within you. It is yours to give. You are the greatness. The power was placed in you long before you even put here. And a thought, the accumulation of all my ancestors have brought me to this point right now. All the sacrifice, all the pain to get the power that's what's inside of me so I can give it to somebody else. I told you I'm going to change the world. There's a reason for it. I got a legacy to leave because I am the product of the legacy of those who came before me. And so are you. Your power is to be given. Your power must be seen. Don't let anybody take that away from you. And so I'm going to go back to that first quote one more time for you, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes God puts a Goliath in your life for you to find the David within you. And what's even better? The enemy always fights the hardest when he knows God has something great for you. So ladies and gentlemen, instead of complaining about how stressful your life is, understand that your life might be stressful because God needs to get you to step up, or because the devil needs to get you to stay down. So find your greatness, go for your greatness, and don't allow anybody to take your greatness away from you. It is yours to give. And until you step up into your power, you're always going to have struggle and strife. Now to understand this also, just because if you know the story of David, you know that his pain and his struggles did not end just because he got and he fought Goliath, but there was a different version of him there now. There was an update. There was an iPhone update that he had to go through. And as he went through his update to get there, that's whenever he got new problems. Because the thing is, the new problems that God needed him, he needed them to lead people. David wasn't in the mood to lead people, but God needed to upgrade him to get him to lead people. You can't go and lead people without going through some stuff first. There's no way. So to become that king that David was supposed to be, David had to actually defeat a Goliath to get there. And that's what I want you to think about, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going through something for the heck of it. There's purpose there. But you got to find that purpose and indulge in that purpose. So at the end of the day, nobody can stop you from going to where you need to go. And the world needs the best version of you because the power within you is strong. And that's all I have for you today. Lord, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you being here. Remember, I believe and I love in each and every single one of you, just in case you didn't see it and you don't hear it. Don't believe whenever they tell you that you can't do it. All they're telling you is what they want you to know and what they want you to think. Don't let that be your truth. Don't let that be your reality. Go out and get it. It's yours to have. And fight your Goliaths because you'll never know what kind of David will appear within you. Have a blessed day. We'll talk.